watching The Market Bull. I'm Sarah Powell, and joining me from First Development Resources is CEO Tristan Pottas. Tristan, welcome back. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Sarah. Great to be speaking with you too.
So, First Development Resources has announced that following the completion of an updated study at the company's Selta Project in the Northern Territory, new targets have been identified for further investigation. Please can you summarise the work that's been done and what this means for FDR's future exploration plans?
Yeah, certainly. So, we commissioned a Perth-based consultancy, Resource Potentials, who we've worked with previously on other areas of the project portfolio, to basically take our initial understanding, our initial desktop review, and incorporate as much historical drilling data, geophysical data, anything that was perhaps not included in the previous study, to enhance what we've already got. So we already knew that this data existed, however, it was in a format which was not compatible with, let's call it, modern day databases. So what Resource Potentials and their associates have done is take all that historical PDF documents, digitize it, create new databases, which are then compatible with things like QGIS and other mapping tools to allow us to bring in all these different layers and really get a better understanding and a clearer view as to what potentially might be going on from a geological perspective. So I guess to summarise that in a bit more detail, what they've done is they've taken that data, they've used the desktop studies which we had previously, looked at the original targets which were identified, and then applied all this new information to enhance what was already there, but also identify new potential areas which could be prospective for minerals beyond what was previously knew existed, such as rare earth elements, the potential for lithium, the potential for uranium, and also now we've got some really solid gold targets, some potential for IOCG and ISCG as well. So Selta has always been a really interesting target with multiple potential opportunities, and now it's a much stronger project in the portfolio.
Thank you, Tristan. It's good to hear that news. So FDR has been working towards its planned UK listing and IPO for some time now. Can you provide an update on the status of this and tell us what work is going on to support the listing?
Thanks, Sarah. That's a great question. You're absolutely right. We at First Development Resources have been in what we refer to as a state of readiness now for several months, whereby what that means is all the documentation to support our planned UK listing is in place. It will need to be signed off once we do get to a position where we can push the button, if you like, on the IPO marketing process. But to all intents and purposes, we are ready to go. And I guess the biggest frustration for myself and existing shareholders and potential new shareholders is that, we have been hamstrung to a certain extent simply by the less than ideal market conditions that First Development Resources and many other people in the sector have been facing over several months. I think it's a strong position to be in insofar as the documentation is prepared and ready to go, and obviously on a project level, as soon as we can get the IPO away, we're in a position where we can deploy those IPO funds immediately into the ground and conduct meaningful exploration in a view to get tangible results to communicate to the market in the short term.
Thank you, Tristan. We wish you all the best in furthering that process. And as you've just touched on, it has been a challenging time in the markets, especially for junior companies like yourselves. But do you get any sense that 2024 might see a change in sentiment?
If I had a crystal ball, I think FDR would be in a much stronger position financially, as I would be also. Look, it's obviously difficult to predict what may happen. I recently attended the Resourcing Tomorrow event in London, and I have to say that the general vibe at the event was that everyone believes that things have to get better, the market has to turn. And I think what is fair to say is that the overriding sense was that we have hit the bottom, which, if that is the case, then the hope is that it's all up from here. As far as First Development Resources are concerned, we need to ensure that we are ready to go at a moment's notice, which we are. And we hope that any green shoots that start to appear in terms of a change in sentiment, we can capitalise on and move quickly and take the business forwards.
Tristan, thank you for the update. We appreciate your time and we'll look forward to catching up again in 2024.
Thanks, Sarah.